Everybody knows somebody that's been impacted by suicide. People are ready to say things need to change and I want answers. There's a massive yearning, I think, amongst all people in Australia going, something's got to change and what do we do about it? The workshop unfolds with looking at what has been the Aussie stereotype, and then we start to look at some of the stats. Where is that stereotype leading us when life doesn't go to plan? And you can't be vulnerable, and you can't ask for help, and you're not supposed to shed tears. What happens if you bottle that up over time? And then we start a conversation around how do we learn to talk with gravity about things that carry weight and depth, about the things that really matter in life that aren't easy to talk about. And we provide a training ground for guys to build that muscle and learn those skills, which unfortunately is almost non-existent at the moment. Once we've run the workshop and they've heard people talk honestly, so how often would you see blokes talk like that? How often have you ever seen a bloke talk that honestly? And it's resounding, never have I seen a bloke talk that honestly. Now, how can you be alive for 50 years and not see that? Like, that's really worrying. Where are boys and men learning how to have emotionally weighted conversations? And if you can't think of places off the top of your head, then why are you surprised that when things get really tough for certain guys, they don't reach out and they don't ask for help? How can you be surprised about that if you can't think of normalised environments where they're training to do it? There's nothing better than being in a room and seeing a bloke talk for the first time ever about a secret life that he's held inside the whole time, and see the relief on his face and the surprise where the whole room goes, that was incredible. Love what you had to say there. The knock-on effect that happens around the room as guys go, geez, this is great. Yeah, I'll say something. I'll say something too. And once you've seen it, I think it loosens the fear that you have around doing it. It's like anything. Once I've seen it, oh, okay, I've seen it now. All right, now I need to do it. Okay, practice it. Yeah, okay, that wasn't so bad. I made it through that. Maybe I can practice that in my own life. Whereas if you've never seen it from a bloke that you respect, and then you've never had a chance to practice it, then how do you work out how to start doing it, particularly on the toughest days? Tomorrow Woman came out of, obviously we all want solutions that are for all people.
One of the activities we do in our workshop with young women is we look at the stereotypes or the pressures or the rules. Every single group of women we work with comes up with the same list of stereotypes and pressures. Has to be pretty, has to be skinny, has to have all their emotions together. Okay, well, what comes with that list? This pressure to feel like we need to be perfect. We then get to have the experience of actually looking at rewriting that list and actually getting to start to practice that. I think the young women are walking away from this workshop knowing that it's more important to be brave than to be perfect, and that people will respect them for that.
What would your life look like if the expectation was for you to be brave and to be courageous and to share your voice and be who you are, rather than to be perfect or slim thick or beautiful? That stereotype and that pressure has always been there and potentially will always be there. And if we can teach young girls how to navigate that pressure or how to push back on that stereotype, I think we're more likely to walk in a world where young women are the most authentic versions of themselves.
I definitely would recommend it. I think it's a great thing that we really needed.
My favourite thing about the workshop was how I was able to express myself confidently.
My favourite part was probably when Devon put the tape on the ground and we all had to stand opposite each other, and then she'd give us a question like, who's going through like a mental health problem right now, and we'd all step forward, and it just got you to realise that you're not alone and everyone's going through the same thing, and everyone was so supportive after that. I thought that was really cool. It should definitely go to other schools. I think it's something that everyone's going to remember and go, you know what, that was really good, that was very important.
It was revealing. I mean, I don't think I knew how many people were affected by this issue. I really haven't talked about that type of stuff with anyone, so it was special.
I really liked how all the boys were really honest with their answers, and they were brave enough to express how they're feeling and what's going on with their lives. 10 out of 10, I recommend this to every teenage, male or female, across Australia.
People are starting to feel really empowered with a skill set and a realisation we can change our own community. We don't need to keep losing people. And not even losing people, we don't need people to be living under such duress. There's small things that you can do, whether it's send a text message, call a mate, go to the pub maybe and have a beer, but ask a second and third question, get a little bit deeper than you usually would. Beat the Breakdown's contribution has been huge, and they've just said, we trust you to have an impact in our community, something that we care so much about. Here's the cash, you tell us what we need to do, and away you go. It's really rare that it's as simple and clear cut as that. And so we've been able to have this amazing relationship with people who really give a shit about their community. It's ordinary people that have made it all happen. Somebody else has, picked up a phone and it's raised $100, or somebody else has picked up a phone and said, come to this event because I know that you'll love it and I know that you'll think it's important. It's all those tiny little acts that mean that we get to be in a room and run a workshop that changes lives. So we're 3.5 years in now, running 500 workshops a year and wanting to grow that. If we didn't have the funding, I doubt that we would actually even exist, to be honest. The every man, the every woman in Australia are going to change this. The more people that we can inspire to go, yep, I'm just going to work out how to have a better conversation, and it might impact 50 people that I live my life with. If we can spread that, then we can make a huge change.